Hey guys, it's Brock Williamson back with another video for you. This is going to be a ministry challenge video once again, so specifically for the people that are maybe in some sort of leadership where maybe they preach often, whether it's youth ministry, senior ministry, adult ministry, youth, young adult, I said youth twice, children's ministry, whatever it may be, okay? What I want to challenge you with is this mentality of I am Christian. Not I am a Christian, I am Christian, fully, okay? And I know those sound like the same thing, and they very well could be. But let me give it to you like this. There was this rapper I knew of. Now, I know this may not be a great reference because it's a secular rapper, and I don't need to drop the name, but the principle of it can apply to us. And he had this tattoo that was, I am music. And the reason for that was every one of his songs, he didn't have to write down his lyrics, because his lyrics were who he was. This is my life. I don't need to write down what is my life. It's my experience. It's my past. It's my now. It's my future. I don't need to write that down. It's who I am. That'd be like writing down your name every morning so that you put a name tag on, so you're just like, oh yeah, my name is blah, blah, blah. You know what your name is. You know who you are. So you don't have to, if somebody came up to you and said, introduce yourself, you wouldn't have to take weeks to prepare. You would just be able to tell them who you are. It applies to being a Christian. When we preach the gospel, now it's great to prepare. I'm not saying don't prepare. And I'm not saying be like me, because I rarely take notes. I don't preach with notes. I might write down a verse reference here and there, but I rarely ever preach with notes. That's good and bad, okay? I'll admit it, it's good and bad. There's times where I should probably have more notes than I do. But I'm able to show up to church, and if my senior pastor said to me, hey, guess what, you're preaching this morning, I'd be able to say, okay, cool, I could do this. No problem. I'll preach anytime, anywhere, at any, whatever you want. I'll preach. And not just because I have sermons in my back pocket, but because I don't have to write down who I am. I am Christian. Not just I am a Christian. That's just a label. But who are you really? Who are you really? Your lifestyle. I am Christian. You don't have to write down your name. Why should you have to write down how you live your life? Your natural instinct, your natural reaction. I think about the reason I'm doing this, that just kind of probably was weird. But the reason I do this is because my natural reaction when somebody throws something at me is to catch it. Because I was an athlete. I spent so much time practicing and growing that reflex. I was a third baseman in baseball growing up. Now, third base, you would have to have quick reactions. That ball comes off the bat so fast and it's coming at you at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You have to react. My natural reaction when somebody throws something at me is catch it. Go for it. Now, I don't always realize if it's sharp or if it's something I really want to catch or if it's nasty, but my natural reaction is catch it. As a Christian, what is our natural reaction? Because we've been so engulfed in it and we've practiced it over and over. We've prayed over and over. We've read the word over and over. When somebody asks us a question, now we're not always prepared. Sometimes we have to prepare. Sometimes we haven't gotten that far in our personal study. Which brings me to the point that if you really want to figure this out for yourself, you're like, how can I have that? How can I really transition this from just it's my career, it's my job, it's my volunteer time, to it's also my lifestyle? I've heard so many preachers, or not, I shouldn't say preachers, no disrespect. I've heard many pastors and reverends, ministers talk about, they have the time where they study the Word of God for their sermons. That is great, that is good, I appreciate that. And I do the same thing, but that's not the only time I spend in the Bible. I don't include that as in my own personal growth. There is a time where I will read the Word and pray, and it'll be for a sermon, but then I will also set aside time to read the Word and pray for myself. We do, there's people who don't do this as a career. They'll spend time in the Word and prayer and all these things and worship just for their daily life. I do that, but then on top of that, I'll prepare for my messages. So we kind of get, in a way, in a very positive way, we get double whammied. It's a good thing. It's what we need. It's who we are. It's part of being on the job. But if you really want to be I am Christian, double up on it. So many pastors that I know of just do the one. They just do the preparing for a sermon, and that also includes in, my personal growth. There should be two separate events. It should not be one. It should be two separate events. Now when you preach, sometimes your personal devotion can cross over into your sermon preparation, and they can combine and be used to plant and water the seed in your audience and your congregation, yes. But there should never be your sermon preparation is your personal devotion, and your personal devotion is your sermon. They should be two separate events. That's what I practice. That's what I encourage. I'm not saying I'm perfect or I'm right or any of this. I'm not a professional. But that's what I encourage you to do. If you want to really see what it is that I am Christian, you really want to see that for your life, that you don't need to write down your own name. You don't need to write down how to live the Christian life. You just know it. I encourage you. Personal devotion and sermon preparation. This has been another challenge, a ministry challenge video. I hope it encourages you and challenges you, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you leave a comment, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe. I appreciate it so much, just out here trying to spread a good message and encourage and give tips and different things like that. Make sure if you have any questions for me, ministry based, spiritually based, practically based, and all that different stuff like that, make sure you drop it in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch y'all later. God bless.